Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome to Sandy's Library. I'm Sandy, and this is the place where I used to write novels and novellas, but these days I just read tarot cards with my spirit guides. I'm going to ask you to check the description for more information on why that is. We'll both be better off for it if you do. Also, I want to remind you guys about my dogs. You may hear them walking around. May hear them flapping their ears. Man, they may even bark. Hopefully they won't do too much of the last one though. But the purpose of this video is to read some tarot cards with my spirit guides. So, my readings are channeled messages for twin flames and separation. My guides and I, we tap into one divine pair, a divine masculine and his divine feminine, but they are typically representative of a group of like-minded souls with similar stories here in the 3D. So if some things match and others don't, just take what resonates and toss the rest. And I'll remind you guys about my throat issues. I'm going to be drinking, coughing, and clearing my throat a lot. So, sorry guys. I also want to mention that when I say divine masculine and divine feminine, I'm not talking about gender. It doesn't have anything to do with male or female or man or woman. I personally am a divine feminine, and that's why I use the pronouns that I do, so don't get too wrapped up in the pronouns that I use. If the messages resonate with you, then take it for what it's worth. So, we have some pre-drawn cards here, and the main reason for the pre-drawn cards has more to do with my cognitive issues than anything else. And if you had read the description, you better understand that. So anyways, we have some cards for divine masculine energy and some cards for divine feminine energy. And then we have one pre-drawn, and these cards are drawn at random. But we have one pre-drawn message from Spirit to kick the reading off. But that said, we are going to supplement these energies with our in-house oracle decks. And our in-house oracle decks were created in conjunction with Sarah's Tarot, and they are created specifically for twin flames in separation. Sarah is responsible for the concept, layout, and design of all 4 decks. These 2 decks, Crazy for You came from the first book I ever wrote, and If I Had Married You came from the last book I ever wrote. The messages in these 2 decks were either taken directly from the story or they're inspired by the story, and then my guides and I, but mostly my guides, compile the messages that are in these 2 decks. There is more information in the description about these decks, including purchase and flip-through links. So, let's go ahead and get started. Remember those like-minded souls that I talked about? Well, let's play a little game and see if we can get a better idea who we might be talking to from the group. As you can see, I have Scrabble letters in here, and I'm going to pull out a couple, and if you can relate to the letters that I pull out by first, middle, or last initial, or a geographic location, then this may be a specific message for you. If not, you know, don't take it too seriously, because we're talking to a group, and this is just for fun. So I'm going to put those aside, but we have a D and a C. DC. Hey, did y'all meet in DC? Oh, goodness. All right, so let's see what Spirit has to say about kicking this message off for us. Oh, I think I need a drink of water. Sorry, guys. They say, the most effective growth is done from the inside out. Yes, very true. Very true. We're going to set the divine feminine energies aside for now, and we're going to see what's going on with the divine masculine. So we have the moon, we have the Six of Swords, and we have the Nine of Cups. Okay, so my guides are giving me the astrological energies of Virgo, Pisces, and Gemini. Now I know that the cards have astrological affiliations as they stand, but that's not where I'm getting this from. I get my astrological signs directly from my guides, just to be clear. So here's main thing I'm getting out of this is, look, the moon is in all three of these cards. It's a little hard to see, but it's shining in through the window behind him, so it's there on all three. And this one is the moon, the card, the moon itself, you know. So there's a lot of how do you say it diplomatically? Deceit. Sorry, y'all. That's all I got is deceit. There's definitely deceit going on. But I feel like it's more self-deception than anything else on the divine masculine's part. I don't think he's deceiving anyone else per se. I'm not really getting that. I'm getting that he's deceiving himself. Mostly. At least until now. Yeah. The divine masculine's guides are definitely with him in the Six of Swords energy. That's what I'm getting from this card. They are trying. And they're telling me it's hard, but they're trying to lead him into calmer waters, so to speak. And they say it has been hard, but he's listening now. He is. He's listening now. Finally. And he's following their lead. I feel like y'all might be in contact already. I'm definitely getting that some of you in the group are. And I feel like others of you soon will be. We'll look into more about that later. But for now, let me just say that the divine masculine wants to marry you, divine feminine. Yep. He wants to marry you and have babies with you. He says that if all of his wishes came true, that's what it would look like. You and him and a pack of kids. That's what he's saying. You and him and a pack of kids. It may not have been his dream before, but it sure as hell is now. So, divine masculine, if you have not contacted your divine feminine yet, what would you say to her here in the 3D if you could? I mean, because we all know you want to. And even if you have contacted her, because I know a lot of y'all have, I know there's quite a few of you in this group that are in contact. I don't mean face-to-face visual contact, I mean like texting. You don't see each other face-to-face, but you text each other. And we, Divine Masculine, we know you're hiding something, even if it's just from yourself. So, is there something that you know needs to be said to the Divine Feminine here in the 3D, but you don't have the guts? You want to tell us? We'll relay the message. We sure as hell will. All you got to do is guide her to view this video, dude. That's it. And we'll relay the message to her. So, is there anything you want to say? And, you know what? We're going to start with the crazy for you energy, Divine Masculine. And for everybody watching the video, crazy for you has kind of a tumultuous energy to it. You know, there's love in that book. I mean, those two are definitely twin flames. There's love in that book, but there's lots of tumultuous energy in it as well. But if there's anything ugly, and I use the word ugly very loosely, but if there's anything that's stopping you from making contact, it could come out in this deck. So, what would you say to her, Divine Masculine? What do you want to get across to her here in the 3D? What do you want to say? He says, sometimes late at night, my pain pours out in soft weeping. Well, Divine Masculine, it takes a hell of a lot for a guy to admit that he cries. He says, no matter how hard I try, I can't get you out of my mind. One more. Third time's a charm. For whatever it's worth, I'm truly sorry for all the pain and hurt that I've caused you. Yes, Divine Masculine. Yeah. That is definitely what you needed to say. Trust me. That is definitely, you know, yes, she likes to hear that no matter how hard you try, you can't get her off your mind. Yeah, she likes to hear that. She likes to hear that you're, well, we don't like to hear that you're suffering. What we like about it is because we know that you're awakening. You know, if you're having feelings, and you know, suffering is part of feelings sometimes. Oh gosh, I'm done with that. Thanks. My guy, Willibeth, she kind of helps me through if I get lost, because I do have cognitive issues. But, it's okay. Here we go. Next one. So, this deck, If I Married You, the last book I ever wrote, completely different energy from the first book. This is all about fantasy and things like that, and this one fell into my lap. He says, I want to see you, but I don't have the courage. What are you worried about, Divine Masculine? This Divine Masculine is so fixated on where he is right now that he didn't give us anything on the past and what happened. As to why they're in separation right now. He says, our connection was instant and powerfully strong, unbreakable even. Not even separation can stop it. He's awakening. I mean, it takes somebody awakened to know that. Wherever you are, that's where I want to be. That's what he wants to say. Wherever you are, that's where I want to be. Okay, so before I delve too deep into his, I don't feel like he's pulling the wool over my eyes, and I usually know, guys. I usually know. And Willabeth, my guide, she'll tell me. My main guide, she'll tell me. And I usually know anyway. But I don't feel like he is. But I still want to see what the Divine Feminine has to say before I try to come to some sort of conclusion. I don't want to guess and guess wrong. So, for the Divine Feminine, we have the Star, we have the Lovers, and we have the Nine of Cups. My goodness, you guys are both stuck in this Nine of Cups energy over here. My guides are giving me the signs of Virgo, Gemini, Pisces, and Scorpio. Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry. Had to get a drink, guys. Okay. So, yeah. I mean, this is a Divine Feminine who is definitely feeling her power. Her guides are also with her. But the difference is they're not trying to lead her anywhere. They're simply offering her enlightenment, and she's accepting it. And yes, I think we all know this is the Twin Flame card. So she knows exactly who is who in this scenario. So yeah, if this all resonates with you, Divine viewer out there, Divine Feminine or Masculine, this may well be a message for you if either of you can relate to this Nine of Cups energy here that they are both sitting up in. Yeah, this may be a message for you. Because, you know, but the different, I mean, the way they're residing in the energy is different. You know, it's very different. She is, look, she's collected all of her hopes, wishes, and dreams and put them into these cups back here. And look how neatly they're stacked up. And look, she's got them stacked up neatly on this beautiful sand castle there. Yeah, I feel like this is a Divine Feminine who is content where she is. Yeah, excuse me. And where she is she's waiting patiently for her Divine Masculine to come and share all that she's accumulated with her. So, maybe the Divine Masculine should get off his butt here in the 3D and come share this beautiful life that the Divine Feminine is offering him. You know what? Because before she goes and finds herself a soulmate to share it with. And don't assume nothing just because you're her Divine Masculine either. Hey, she attracted your butt. She can attract others too. So, Divine Masculine, if you're enlightened enough to know about this divine partnership, don't assume that she'll put her life on hold because of it. I'd advise you not to go that route. She's got a lot of soulmates out in the world just waiting to cross her path. I'm not preaching at you, Divine Masculine. I'm just relaying messages and facts. But you better be careful or somebody else is going to end up married to your wife. I mean, she knows who you are. And she also knows when you can't give her what she wants and needs. Yeah. She knows if you can't do that. So when you offer it to her, you had better be serious. That's what she says. She says, he better be serious this time. So apparently you weren't serious before. But y'all know what I am getting, that he's very serious now. And let me tell you what, you better be, because this is not a Divine Feminine who's going to waste this earthly exercise sitting around waiting for you to see the light. She already sees the light, and she tried to show it to you. And now the light's telling her not to waste this lifetime. So my advice to you, Divine Masculine, get on it. Time's a wasting. Yeah. So, Divine Feminine, is there anything that you'd like to say to him here in 3D? Maybe he needs a little encouragement. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. What do you want to say to him? I'm not specifically saying that you have to encourage him. You tell him whatever the hell you want to. But he's something is, he knows what he wants, but he's scared. He's scared. He's scared of rejection. So, the question is, where are you at? Where are you at, Divine Feminine? She's, man, here, hold on. Remember when we were in his energy and he said, no matter how hard I try, I can't get you off my mind. Okay? Remember when he said that? She says, I tried to put you out of my mind, but you keep sneaking back into my thoughts. Yeah, so now, yeah, y'all both sitting up in this 9 of Cups energy. He's so strong. She says, lust at first sight is a thing. Third time's a charm. She says, I know in my heart that you can never forgive me. What's that about? She says the music on the car radio reminds me of you. Let's see. Was that, I know in my heart you can never forgive me? Is that got something to do with you guys? Or is that a misnomer outside the group? Somebody's trying to send a message? Let's find out. Let's take a look here. You know, this is not nearly as tumultuous energy as crazy for you is. This is more of a fantasy type sort of thing. Because it is titled, If I Had Married You. But, you know, if there's something going on between the two of them. I know in my heart that you can never forgive me. And with him, the way he is, he's just, he wants her. He wants her so bad, and he wants to come forward, but he's afraid to. What did he say? He said, I want to see you, but I don't have the courage. So, so I'm almost kind of feeling like because she did something that she feels like he won't forgive her for. Was it during separation though? If it was during separation, he don't have a complaint coming. If you did something to him while y'all were together, well then yeah, okay. She says, every time you entered the room, I lit up like a Christmas tree. What else? The first time you looked at me, your eyes invaded my senses and stirred my soul. I feel like she's trying to explain to him how she really felt about him when they were together. Our time together was picture perfect. I feel, this is what I'm getting. She's trying to explain to him how she felt when they were together. And this thing that she's worried about him forgiving her for, I feel like this happened during separation. Maybe she's had a child with someone else. But hey, you know what, Divine Feminine? If he let you go, he's got no one to blame but himself if you went off and had a child with someone else. He's got nobody to blame but himself. But let's try a little something here. We have our Lonely Days and Lonely Nights decks. It's one deck, sorry. There's Divine Masculine energy in the Lonely Days and Divine Feminine energy in the Lonely Nights. And so this deck is set up to allow them to have a conversation. And when they are willing to cooperate, we get some pretty cool conversations out of them. And sometimes, if one doesn't feel the other is being sincere, their answers are mismatched. So we'll just deal with that when it happens, trying to figure out what they're trying to do. So anyways, but more often than not, this usually works in our favor, allowing them to have a conversation here in the reading. And this deck, incidentally, the concept of this deck was Sarah's Tarot's idea. I just think it's really ingenious. Wish I'd thought of it. Okay, we're going to start off with the Divine Masculine. Go ahead and grab one for the Divine Feminine. So the Divine Masculine says, I wonder what you want from me now, if anything. The Divine Feminine says, it's always been you. Okay. Divine Feminine, she says, I want to forgive you. So you did something too, huh? He says, I don't know if I can live up to the guy you think I am. Yeah, they're starting to talk to one another now. She says, I want to forgive you. He says, I don't know if I can live up to the guy you think I am. Divine masculine and divine feminine. He says, I'll forever be haunted by what could have been. She says, I feel like you kept secrets from me. Hang on, guys. The Divine Feminine says, my answers are making perfect sense to him. She says, this is my chance right here to get everything out that's been bothering me. This is my chance. And she says that her responses make perfect sense to him. Okay, so. My goodness. Okay, remember back here when he said, I'll forever be haunted by what could have been. There are 4 or 5 messages in this deck, and there are, how many cards? How many messages in this deck? 76, is it?
I think so.
76. So, and they have equal amounts of messages, and there are 4 or 5 messages for each one of them. That's like 38, yeah, 38 messages apiece, and there are 5 or 6 that are the same. And out of 76 cards, of course some are up here, but here's hers. They'll both forever be haunted by what could have been. And his final message to her is, I love you more than the distance between us. Okay, so. Chit. Hey, if curse words bother y'all probably shouldn't be here on this channel, because due to my cognitive issues, I have no filter, and whatever I'm thinking is going to come out of my mouth. So, anyways, I'm getting that this is a Divine Feminine who has other things to do besides sit around waiting for her Divine Masculine to grow up. Yeah, well, yeah. Grow up, wake up, same fucking difference, okay? But I feel like he's doing a little bit of both right now. So, she's just not quite sure yet. She'll be sure when he comes toward her, she said. She said, when he shows up, I'll be sure then. So, speaking of showing up, let's see if we can find out if there might be contact within the next year. I have 13 charms here. And one for each month of the year. And yes, in my universe, we only have 12 months in a year, so in light of that, I'll bet you can guess what the 13th one is for. Hopefully we won't pull this out, because I feel like, you know, these two are ready to come together. They both know it. Oh, we have the little dolphin. We have the little dolphin. And you say, well, how do we know what that represents, you might ask. Well, I have a little key here because I can't remember what I assigned to which charm. But the dolphin is March. So, I feel like y'all, March could be it for you two. And that's awesome. Okay, so, well, there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you for taking the time to view it, and be sure to drop back in tomorrow. We upload a brand new reading every day. Wishing you love, peace, and happiness. Lady Gators.